I don't know, $30,000 for just a mirror? That feels like a bit much. Hey, welcome back to more Unicorn Overlord. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time, you can guess. This time, you can guess. Though this should be the last one. I'll make it the last one, no matter what. Ridiel and Lagos. That's truly you. Lagos, has anyone taught you not to grab a girl by the shoulder like that? Forgive me, I thought you were... Ridia for a moment. I mean, my mom. I truly am sorry, Ridiel. I must say, your every feature reminds me of her, even down to the way you stand. Still, it doesn't excuse the uncivilized manner in which I startled you. It's alright, really. I'm curious, though. How did you know my mom? She's the one who taught me the art of the bow. This was years ago, of course. She always used to speak of you with such high praise, you know. Well-mannered child with almost stoic nature. I learned like that so I wouldn't worry her. She was just so busy all the time. And to worry her, you did. She could tell you were stifling your own individuality for the sake of her well-being. And she would make the time to train you in the bow once with each passing moon. Is that why? I was probably too busy despising those sessions to realize. I expected it was the only way she knew how to show her love for you. She was always rather strict with me. I did at times catch sight of the caring mother beneath that mask. I am certain if she could see you now, she would have put nothing but pride for the fine woman you've become in her absence. You know I'm not a knight? Ridiel, please, it was you she loved, not some meaningless title. Yeah, I hope you're right. Look, that's not really a... Not a, pairing, interaction pairing you expect. Linda and Alina Lagos is one you kind of expect, though. Hello, Alina Lagos. Spent some time to us. Is there aught I can assist you with? There is, in fact. Might I speak with you for a moment? But of course, please go on. Do you remember when we were children? I would sneak out of the castle to roam the city with you. It was a time I'll never forget for the rest of my days. In truth, those moments what gave me the strength to endure the rigors of my training to become Turanos. Tell me, what caused us to grow apart all those years ago? I should think it obvious. A commoner such as I bears no right to associate with one of your royal blood. Even though I myself wished for it. I've thought much on this matter over the passing moons, Alina Lagos. And I feel to see how our friendship could ever warrant such a cold and bitter end. I must know, do you regret the time we spent together, even now? My only regret is ever having left your side. Do you recall the day I learned who you truly were? I must have joined your personal guard without so much as a moment's hesitation. Much as I may have wanted it, I couldn't bring myself to accept the offer. Upon hearing that Lower Hall had fallen, I wished with every ounce of my being that I had. If only I had been there that horrible day, perhaps those fiends would never have even reached your door. Will that truly be how you feel, Lagos? I pray you'll not make the same mistake twice. Well, let me ask you again. Would you give me the honor of joining my personal guard? I suppose years too late is better than never at all, Tedas. I would like nothing more, Tedas. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's a good way to think about it. Rosalinda and Rylanor. It was rather strange not having you around in recent times, Rylanor. Usually at my side morning, noon, and night, after all. And without Linda and Athelion long since gone to me as well, I'd hazard to say it was the longest time I'd spent alone in decades. Forgive me for abandoning you in such a manner, Tedas. Please, don't apologize. I'm not blaming you for it by any means. I'm simply saying I was lonely without you. That... I know you lured Zenora away in order to protect me. Indeed I did. I am no means too far from securing your safety. Though at times I wish they had made merely cut me down rather than make me their puppet. Since then I would never have turned my blade on you. All that extra time I spent praying for your safety, and this is how you repay me? If you're gonna say anything, I'd much prefer to hear how glad you are to return to my service. That should be a given to us. There's no place else in all of Feverth I would rather be. Yet, I'll continue to bear the dishonor of betraying you for as long as I live. No, Rylanor. You fought your serious for your own good. Again, a lot of the elves I'm not terribly familiar with either. There's... Elheim? Okay, like, Cordia characters I'm pretty familiar with in terms of seeing their rapport. But, like, beyond that, not... Drakenhold I'm pretty familiar with as well, but... Not so much Elheim. A lot of theories just didn't quite interest me. Something right, Lagos. You seem upset. Ah, it's you. Had you and your army not arrived when you did, I would know to help you win with the Divine by now. It was a welcome stroke of luck, yet I'm well aware that aforesaid fortune would have little chance of striking me again. As I was reflecting on that horrible day, hoping to grasp how best to claim victory absent outside assistance. I can see that some of my orders may have arrived too late, but were the orders themselves mistakes to begin with? I don't diminish the number of surely to blame, though perhaps I should have planned for such an eventuality. There's much to consider if I hope to be adequately prepared for our next battle. You have some strength of heart to be thinking of this while the pain is surely still fresh in your mind. When you've lived as long as I have, you're going to find that pain is nothing but a fleeting sensation. All that remains now is the burning desire to avenge my fallen allies. Might I help you in that pursuit, SlayerMathis? That's more than I could possibly ask of you. Even still, I believe together we can balance out the weaknesses in each other's thinking. And I too wish to avoid the needless loss of life as much as possible. Very well. I won't deny the help of a skilled commander such as you. Let us make for the war tent. Exchange any further ideas over its abundance of old charts and maps. Lead the way, my prince. He may not have the benefit of my boundless years, but he's quite a dependable young man. I do like the fact that Elaine is... he definitely is portrayed as a very skilled at everything character, which is a very hit or miss prospect to have. But I like the fact that he still is like, yeah, I am still not the best. Like, he's very humble. He knows that he does have his weaknesses, even if it is not terribly many, but still. I do like that about him, how he's very willing to take others' assistance and ask for it, too. Elena Athelion! Well, I'm not sure that Rosalinda's palace lies underground. What about you, Athelion? Have you spent much of your life beneath the surface as well? I have. Until I joined a personal god, I had little reason to leave our subterranean city. So I almost never did. The only light I ever saw was the orange hue of a magic lantern, with the occasional moonbeam filtering in through the entrance of the cavern. As a child, the sun was always more of a concept than a natural entity which existed in my world. It's difficult to imagine in all truth. Another race of further as most of the population consigned to a life secluded within the earth. Maybe not, but it has its benefits. For one, the insular nature of our cities means few invaders think to attack. And those that do often end up lost in a maze of corridors. I can only assume that's why Zenara went after Lower Hall instead. Cruel twist of fate indeed. Life was good before they turned up, you know. When I was just a child, Terra Rosalinda would leave the city every now and then to travel to various regions of Elheim. When she returned, she would tell us all the most incredible tales of the outside world. I still remember the wonder that filled my heart with every word. The more I listened, the more certain I grew in my dream for the future. To accompany Terra Rosalinda on the journey she recounted, to stand in her defense should the need ever arise. It is why I now serve in her personal guard. Exactly. And though I don't like to admit it, there was just a thing that resisted me, rather than any kind of dark elf royalty. I swear to you, Elaine, never again will the shadow of Zenara hang over this nation. No matter what happens in the course of this war, I'll always be there to protect Terra Rosalinda. With my very life, I must. Don't give up your life, man! It's totally unnecessary! Elaine Rosalinda! Boo! Please don't scare me like that when I'm reading, Rosalinda. Sorry, I just couldn't help myself seeing you standing there all defenseless. It's odd, though. You seemed nothing like this when first we met. Like what? Well, friendly, I suppose. Trigger's more formal princess than one who would play tricks on her commander. You're awfully cute when you're flustered. It's the more we spend time together, the more I want to learn about you, who you really are. So I thought I'd show you a little bit of who I really am, too. Well, I can't fault your logic. Unless you're saying you liked me better before. You're standing rather close to me, Rosalinda. Is there something wrong with that? Not as such. No, it's something that is impossible to read with a book covered in your shadow. Ah, yes, you're reading. Perhaps I wouldn't mind joining you in that adventure myself. No, don't worry. I'll make certain that I don't obstruct your view. So much for my quiet afternoon. One thing that so, obviously, the game tries to push together Elaine and Scarlet. I think that makes sense, but they do leave a lot of other options that don't feel illegitimate. Speaking of Elaine and Scarlet, is everything okay, Scarlet? You seem rather irritated over something. Oh, just thinking about the attractive women you've been taking in the Liberation lately. And men, don't forget it, we need as many fighters as there are willing to join, regardless of their gender. Fighters you clearly feel deserve your attention far more than I do. So you are upset. Not really, and I'm not jealous either, if that's what you're thinking. With how long we've known each other, it almost doesn't seem fair that you keep leaving me out. If you ever wish to talk, you're free to insert yourself into any conversation I'm having. Everyone will be pleased to see you, I'm sure. That's not what Why are you standing so close to me? Do you remember the little forest on Palavium, much like this one? Enough used to gaze upon as many inhabitants. Always careful to keep our distance. Of course, just warn us not to wander the area at all without an adult. We did it anyway. Listen to me, Elaine, Your face is going completely red, Scarlet. You're feeling alright? I'm fine! What I'm trying to say is, I don't want someone else stealing you away from me. Oops. So that's how you feel? No, I was hoping we could talk more is all. I'm not some mere possession to be snatched away the moment you avert your eyes. I know that. And I suppose this means you truly are jealous. I'm not! Forgive me for not noticing sooner how you felt. I should have speak with you more often from now on. You don't have to do that for me. It's not only for your Scarlet. I realize how deeply I miss our conversations as well. You really mean that? I don't know, it took you so long. Nor do I. It really helps that Elaine is very dense, in terms of the Scarlet shipping. Like, yeah, it is very obvious. They're pushing you to Elaine and Scarlet. But, and like, Elaine does, I feel like the quote-unquote canon relationship is definitely Scarlet. But, also, Elaine's character seems like the type that would be very, very prone to friend-zoning people, just because of how dense he is. So, that's why I don't really mind it too much. It's... The forced shipping is something that's very, very tricky to do right. I think this game does it pretty well. I do like the chemistry between Elaine and Scarlet. There's some games that don't pull off the forced shipping too well, but this isn't one of them. It's fine. Elaine and Selvie. Selvie, worry not. I'll have you out of there in but a moment. Ah, thank you, my prince. It is a relief to see you unharmed, Selvie, but I must ask, how do you come to be trapped beneath all that rubble? Well, you see, one moment I was in the midst of a peaceful investigation. Next, I found myself beset by spirits of the dead. Same phantom soldiers you've encountered elsewhere, I presume. That's precisely what I thought at first, but I soon realized they were actually the ghosts of deceased children and house pets. A somber discovery. There's no sigil in the region either, so it couldn't have been manifested then. And given the household items I came across by excavation, I can only assume there used to be a settlement here. Anyway, I believe the ghosts were trying to play a prank on me and accidentally brought the ruins crashing down in the process. I must have been awfully startled by all the noise, that I soon quickly fled the area, likely up to some spectral plane beyond our comprehension. I'm not so certain about that. Before I found you, I heard a young voice calling out for me from this direction. It was one of the children, urging me to come to your aid. Oh, spirits. If you can hear me out there, know that I'm entirely unharmed thanks to you. And I plan to further my research into these lands in hopes of learning more about the people you once were. I'll forever be grateful for what you've done here today. Speaking of research, Selvie, perhaps you shouldn't be doing it alone any longer. You may not be so lucky next time. A valid point, yes. I don't thank you again for taking me out of that rubble. It was nothing at all. I'm really pleased to know that you're safe. I would kind of like it if it wasn't just ghosts and Selvie's just insane. But sadly, it seems like it is just actually ghosts. Watch out, Yana! Prince! No, a poison arrow! Is that you, Yana? You imbecile! You have any idea what you've just done? The commander of an army should never go risking his own life for a mere soldier. Are you trying to squander the sacrifice your mother made for you? Forgive me, I left in front of you without even thinking about it. Yet I do know you have the knowledge to cure poison should the need arise. Not all poisons. Some is extremely potent, designed to be used for assassinations. I've been right there next to you when the arrow struck. You'd be off making merry with the father right about now. And I'm glad you were. Thank you again, Yana. I can't tell whether you naturally understands or not. I truly am sorry for what I've done. As you should be. I was terrified. In that moment, I think I knew just how my master must have felt. I mean, the witch Alcina. Yes, to be Elaine. Even forgetting everything I just told you, I still want you to live. Not because you're a prince, but because you're you. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. What's so funny about that? I couldn't stand to lose you either, Yana. Not because you're a soldier in my army. But worry not, I'll deflect the arrow with my shield next time rather than take a blow myself. I mean, you will still step in front of me. What am I ever gonna do with you, Prince? I mean, yeah, I imagine that blocking something with your shield is more effective than blocking it with your shoulder. I would just assume arrows hit the shoulder. I don't know. Elaine and Rylanor is our last one. What is your involvement with Tara Rosalinda? I demand an answer, now. I'm not certain what you mean. Forgive me, I didn't intend to take such a forceful tone of voice. Simply that she seems to have grown rather smitten with you. As her attendant, it's my duty to determine if you're truly suited to... to determine what it is you think of her. If pressed for an answer, I would say she's a fine ally in the fight against Sonora. And, what else? You want more? In that case, I suppose she does stand somewhat close to me at times. She tends to speak softer than most everyone else, so I think it only natural she draws nearer to me. But perhaps there's a deeper reason for that? Very interesting. The tenacity of will commands an army alone. To use the slightest touch of vulnerability. So the men that Tara Rosalinda has chosen, and so be it. I approve. Approve of what exactly? Nothing you need worry yourself over. I thank you for the assistance, Elaine, and I hope you can find it in your heart to appease my lady's wishes. For nothing could bring me greater joy. I'm not starting to understand what just happened. I'm sure we do have a few more rapport conversations out there that we can do. Is it really just the one? Oh, if it's just the one, then yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that there weren't more that opened up. That's just a lot in Albion. I must say, Eunice, something about our most recent tea together. And the cake you brought seemed every bit as real mushroom chocolate dirt as all. I'm glad you liked it. I had made it especially for you, you know. The way its delicate flavors complemented the tea. Sometimes I never should have expected anything less. To be honest, I had such fun that day, and a smile shall still grace my lips as I fell asleep. It's good to see you still as excitable as ever. I have to ask, though, did you enjoy yourself as well, Eunice? You always seem to be finding ways to make me happy. But struggle to tell if you ever actually have any fun yourself. Oh, Rosalinda. You really have no idea, do you? What do you mean? Of course I had fun with you. How could you possibly ever think otherwise? It's merely, I don't know. At times it seems as though you know me even better than I know myself. Well, I feel like I can barely tell the first thing about you. So that's how it is. And listen well, Rosalinda. I don't need tea or cake or anything else to make me happy. All I need is you. If you really care about how I feel, and keep that smile of yours as warm and beautiful as ever. Rosalinda, I should have known you would say something to that effect. I feel exactly the same. Now let's enjoy the evening stars together. That feels kind of lackluster for a level 3. Like, if that was the level 2, sure, but that's the final one? Alright. But, here, we'll go to, I think it's the Vulpus that we need. We'll just build this, because this is where we're going to be going from, next time.
Attend the Liberation Orbit goes with each person game. Mr. Volcano, if that's where you're going.
But that will do it for this time, and next time, oh my god, we can finally do more things. But until then, see you guys later.